Hi everyone, it's story time. Welcome back. Hope you've had a lovely couple of days since I last saw you. We are going to continue with Diary of a Disciple and then finish with a devotion from Indescribable. So get yourself comfy and then I will begin. Chapter 21, Trouble, Temples and Trees. Jesus looked up and glanced around the busy temple. He noticed a queue of people near the boxes where people gave their money to God. He could see by the way the rich people just threw their money into the box that they really wanted everyone to see how much they were giving and to think they were super wonderful. Then he spotted a small, wrinkly, tired old woman. She took her time walking up to the box, and when she got there, she quietly dropped just 2 tiny coins inside. Jesus turned to the crowds and said, "You see that old woman? She has given more than any of the others. They only gave what they didn't need. She gave everything she had." Some people in the crowd were staring at the different parts of the temple. It had been made from some of the most beautiful stones and jewels. "Ooh, isn't it lovely? Amazing!" "Take a good look," Jesus said to them. "Soon all these stones will be in a pile on the ground. The temple will be totally smashed up." "What do you mean? The temple is really strong. How will we know when all of this will happen?" Jesus paused for a moment and then gave his answer. "People will come and they'll say that they're me, but they're not. You know, make sure you see. They're imposters, they're liars, they're faking it all, so don't follow them lest you stumble and fall. There'll be wars, there'll be fights, but don't be afraid. It's all in the plan that I know God has made. These things will happen, but that's not the end. God's got a plan that I'm here to defend. Earthquakes and famine, evil disease, way scary skies and trembling knees. But before these things, you'll end up in jail. Just 'cause of me, they'll ask for your tail. So take your chance, tell them of me. Tell them the things you saw and still see. I'll give you the words, you'll know what to say. No one will argue or get in the way. But do remember this, it won't be much fun. Your friends and your family, they'll turn and run. They'll dob you in, they'll point you out. People will hate you, please have no doubt. But don't be afraid, no, I'll be there with you. Your faith will save you, I say that's true. It's believing in me that will pull you through. So no matter how tough, I'm here for you. When the soldiers come, the time will be near. So run for the mountains, let me be clear. Leave the city, the time has come. Don't hang around, leave, run. It won't be good, there'll be tears and pain. Many will die, some will be slain. Some will be taken, some will be lost. Jerusalem paying a terrible cost. The sun, moon and stars, the seas and the tide, they'll all be so strange that people will hide. They might pass out, sit in corners and cower, but everything happening is all God's power. And then all will see the Son of Man is here, above them with clouds, his glory so near. When all of this happens, be brave and stand tall. Your freedom is here once and for all. Of course, Jesus didn't really say it all, so it rhymed like this, but it helps me to remember the amazing things he said. While everyone was taking it in, Jesus sat down and told another story. When you see the trees starting to sprout, you know that the warmer weather is coming. So when you see all things I've talked about starting to happen, you'll know what is on the way. God's kingdom will be coming, and some of you will even see it for yourselves. This earth and that sky won't last forever, but the words I speak will never die. So don't waste your time worrying, or the end will be here and it'll catch you out. When it all happens, it will be a complete surprise. Keep on praying, keep on looking for all these things. If you do, the Son of Man will be pleased. People just couldn't stop listening to Jesus. They came back to the temple every day to hear him. Every night Jesus left the temple and camped out on the Mount of Olives. Every day he was in the temple bright and early and ready for a new day. Well, that was a lot of amazing stuff. Some pretty scary things too. But I trust Jesus. I really do. What do you think about the things he said? So today's devotion is called Beetlejuice. James 4 verse 8 says, "Come near to God, and God will come near to you." So you pronounce it Beetlejuice. There we are, Beetlejuice, which sounds like a nasty Halloween punch, doesn't it? Well, it's actually a star. Not just any twinkling little star, but a truly spectacular star that's approximately 640 light years away from the Earth. Remember, a light year is how far light travels in a year, which is 5.88 trillion miles. Multiply that by 640 and, well, let's just say Beetlejuice is farther away than anyone can really imagine. And it's so big that 262 trillion Earths could fit inside the massive star. But Beetlejuice isn't the biggest star we know about. Another one, about 3,000 light years away, is called Cephei. You might know how to pronounce that. It's a ferocious beast of a star. More than 2.7 quadrillion Earths would fit inside that star, the beast of a star. And by the way, a quadrillion is a 1 followed by 15 zeros. That's a big star. But you know what's amazing? Even bigger stars exist in our universe, and we know God made billions more than we just haven't discovered yet. To make stars that huge and far away, God must be bigger than anything you could imagine. But unlike the stars he made and hung in the skies, God's not far away at all. In fact, he's right by your side. He is with you, and he is everywhere all at the same time. Is called being omnipresent. That's a unique quality that only God has, a quality that makes him indescribable. Jesus made this promise in Matthew 28 verse 20. "You can be sure that I will be with you always. All you have to do is call on his name and he'll come even closer to love you, to help you, to take care of you. God's just indescribably awesome that way." So up here, be amazed. Some numbers, like a quadrillion, are so big they're hard to understand. Think of it this way. 1 million seconds equals 12 days. 1 billion seconds is about 32 years. 1 trillion seconds is over 31,700 years. And 1 quadrillion seconds, that equals 31,709,792 years. Oh my goodness, that is a long time, a big number. God, sometimes I feel very small in this gigantic universe you've made, but I love knowing that I'm important enough to you for you to stay right beside me. So thank you for joining me again for Storytime. And it just might be, some of the stuff that we read in Diary of a Disciple sounds a little bit scary, doesn't it? When earthquakes and famine, evil disease, very scary skies and trembling knees. There's a lot of stuff that sounds a little bit scary, but what I would say is that the one thing that Jesus says is everything is happening all in God's power. And actually it's part of God's plan as well. So we can spend our time worrying, or we can pray to God and say, God, I am worried, but it's part of your plan and I need your help. And he gives us that help. So even if you're a little bit worried about what you've heard, just remember, God is the biggest of all. And he is with you. Just like our devotion said, we are important enough that he'll come closer. Call on his name, he'll come closer and take care of you. So we've got God, he's on our side, he's looking out for us. So let's finish with a prayer. Dear God, we thank you that you are in control and everything that happens is part of your plan. Help us to not worry, help us to call on your name so that you will draw close to us and you will help us in all times when we're worried, when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're confused. You are there. You are there right beside us and we thank you for this, God. So please, God, would you keep us safe, keep us well and bless us all, I pray. Amen. So thank you very much for joining me. You can join me next week for some more story time. Or you can join me, if you haven't had enough of me, you can join me on Sunday for Junior Church. Just check out the YouTube channel, CBC Junior Church, just where you found this. So I shall see you all very soon. Take care. Bye everyone.